Hello guys, I'm here from Not Toys Action Figures, bringing you another action figure review. And look, we have something different for the channel. We are going back to Star Wars The Black Series. And I put out a little poll on the channel if you guys would like to see Black Series. Interesting fact was, I think my first ever video was a Black Series video. It was Darth Sidious or whatever he's called from Knights of the Old Republic 2. But along the way, I kind of drifted off the Black Series. I feel like Star Wars, there's just so much to collect. I just never really thought it was like realistic to collect everything. And I got more into Power Rangers, and then ended up just becoming mostly a Lightning collection channel and then sprinkling stuff in. But I put out a poll to see if people would be interested in seeing a little bit of Black Series on the channel, just because they have some really cool new figures coming out, like the Gaming Greats. I'm kind of thinking like I might start collecting just the Gaming Greats because I love the Star Wars games, and the Gaming Greats kind of series is like realistic to collect, because yeah, there's not as many figures. So we're starting off here with, as you can see, from Star Wars The Old Republic, Darth Malek, one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite games. I also have Starkiller on pre-order, so he will be appearing on the channel at some point. And if this video does well, I think I might try and check out Bastila from the Old Republic too, because there's just really unique looking characters, unique looking figures. And yeah, just wanted to do something different, especially since next year Lightning Collection is on a hiatus apparently. So there's going to be less Lightning Collection figures to review. So I thought, yeah, let's try some Star Wars out, see if you guys like it, and if you do, then we can do more videos on it. So if you do like it, make sure you leave a like on the video so I know that you want to see more. And without further ado, let's get Darth Malek out of the box. You know what, just because we don't open, or we haven't really opened any Black Series on the channel before, especially in this new box type, which I think they're actually reverting back to the old one with the window. Let's open him up. So it looks like we can go in through here somehow on the sides. And I'm actually really impressed with how nice the box looks. I kind of always thought these plastic-free ones, especially in Lightning Collection, they look a bit boring because they don't have the nice art on the arts on the side. But they actually look really nice, and I'm looking at how this opens up. How does it open up is the question. Maybe we're just going through the top. It might be easier. I thought it opened up on the side, but it doesn't look that way. At least here on the top, there's only two things we have to open up. And it does indeed open, and we can pull out the sleeve, I think. Yes, we pull out the sleeve, and you can see here is Darth Malek. Here is his lightsaber, which they've kind of tried to keep nice and flat, which is nice. Darth Malek, I always think in these plastic-free packaging, they look like mummies, like they've been in a sarcophagus for hundreds of years. So let's get him out. He's a big character. I think I'm going to cut this bit, but this is how it looks inside the box. Okay guys, here is Darth Malek out of the box, and it was quite interesting how he was actually packed in the box, because he was kind of wrapped almost in like a piece of cardboard, and then he even had like a bit of plastic between his mouthpiece and his neck piece, so that the plastic wasn't rubbing on each other in the box, which is like a nice, it feels a bit more like a premium product in that sense. I think like that's usually what you see with Mezco and kind of some of the and SH Figure Arts, that they had these bits of plastic to stop stuff rubbing. But it's yeah, it's really nice, and it's a really cool figure. Like, I remember one of the reasons why I stopped collecting Star Wars was because I felt like the likeness was never that good, and also I felt like you never really got that many accessories with it compared to Lightning Collection, and that was just something that Lightning Collection just has always done better. But over the last couple of years, Star Wars The Black Series has gotten way better with their sculpts, with their articulation. He still doesn't really have any accessories, to be fair. Like, he only has his lightsaber, but just look at him. Like, just look at the eyes, the scars along his face, like the detail there on his chest plate, like the detail on the arms, even on the joints, like the joints are sculpted, the detail on the hilt of the lightsaber, you go down, the fold on the legs there, like everything just looks really, really good. And then he even has this cloth cape, which, yeah, I think your distance may vary, or your mileage may vary on cloth capes, especially these ones that are very kind of soft and just fall down. But he just looks excellent. Like, it's a fantastic looking figure. And yeah, I'm glad that they make these figures because I love Knights of the Old Republic. I actually played the second one first back in the day, and it was like the reason why I bought an Xbox. And it's just cool to see like really top quality figures from those games. So let's put him in another pose. And here is Darth Malek in what I say is a very like if a Star Wars a lightsaber wielding Star Wars figure doesn't do this, then it's a pretty bad figure. But they need to stand and be able to pose with two hands on the sword, on the lightsaber, which he does with ease. And again, just kind of cuts like this awesome looking silhouette here as he stands up on the podium. And again, just the more I look at this figure, the more I just think he just looks amazing. Yeah, like I said, I first started playing Knights of the Old Republic 2 when I was growing up, and then obviously went back and played the original. And I don't know, I think the second one is still my favorite, maybe because it was the one I played first. But yeah, the original one, the story is just like it's iconic. And I love that these characters are kind of getting some love now, like in the kind of some of the mobile games. Like I know Revan kind of made a comeback, and I think Malik also has been mentioned a few times in like the new lore, which is awesome, and also Bastila. So I'm really happy that like newer fans of Star Wars who maybe didn't play Knights of the Old Republic get to know who these characters are. Let me know down in the comments which was your favourite game. Did you prefer Knights of the Old Republic 1 or Knights of the Old Republic 2? Also, let me know, do you think the PlayStation remaster is ever going to happen? Because that's gone quiet, and there's a lot of problems with the studio that was meant to be making it. So I'm kind of interested to see if there will ever be a remake. I really hope there is, because I'd love to play these games with modern graphics and maybe more modern controls rather than the weird kind of turn-based controls that the games have. But yeah, let's maybe now have a look through Malik's articulation and see what he can do. Right then, let's have a look at Darth Malek, go through some of his details like we do usually with the Power Rangers figures, but also look at his articulation because it's a new figure from a new not franchise, but I guess a new range of figures that we don't usually look at. So it would be interesting to just see how he works and what his differences are, I suppose, to Lightning Collection, because Lightning Collection, we know the double jointed elbows, the double jointed knees. Pretty much we know exactly what's going on. With this guy, it's all new. So yeah, first we're looking at that head, and like you can see here, great eyes, great sculpt on the mask. Also here on the face is really scarred, the scars. And what's really cool is you can actually take this mask off. You might see like the little line there. You can take the mask off after the articulation. I'll show you how to, I'll show you him with the mask off, but it's cool as well. So you can kind of see him with his jaw removed. We go down, well, I suppose if we're looking at the articulation, the head is quite limited. Like it is, I think, on a ball here, and then there is a little bit of movement back and forth on the neck. But because of this high collar here, you can't really get much movement, and you can maybe hear it. There is quite a lot of rubbing as you move the stuff, so you want to be careful that you aren't scratching anything. But I just love that, yeah, even the neck has like nice sculpting on it, and the bottom of his jaw, which we will see when we take this faceplate off. We go to the shoulders, and the shoulders are kind of on a joint here. Again, you got to be a bit careful where you put them because they do rub, and it is on a butterfly joint here. Range of motion, yeah, isn't the best, I would say, but the shoulder does come up to about there. It does go all the way around, and like I said, it is on a butterfly joint, so you can get some swing back if you want to pose him, kind of holding his lightsaber behind him or whatever. And it does get some swing forward like you saw before, that he can get his hands quite easily together to pose double-handed, which is nice. Like I said, I think lightsaber wielding characters need to do that as a minimum. Go down to the elbow, and you can see here the elbow is on a swivel, but it's on kind of its own joint. And what I really like here is that the joint is molded to fit into the kind of the silhouette and the pattern of the arm. It goes up to about there, which isn't too bad, because I don't know if you would count this as a single, or I guess it is a single jointed elbow, but it goes up quite far, which is nice. It's also pinless, which is good. Doesn't really break up the kind of cool layering to his armor he has. Go down to the wrist. The wrist is like normal. It also has a rocker, but because of the sculpt, you can't really get his hand to rock that far or that back, really, which is a shame, because yeah, with a lightsaber character, it might be cool to have it to be able to rock up, move up and down I guess that's maybe more important for a pistol wielding character, but still it would have been nice to have. But the mold or the sculpting prevents that. Going back to his chest, you can see this is like a separate upper piece on top, almost like an armor piece, which is also nicely sculpted. It goes up and kind of under here. You see the shoulder on this side is the same as this one. It's just covered by this nice cape, which again, some people might not like these very floppy capes. I would love it if they could put a bit of wire in them just so you can get some action poses into them. But the way it hangs, it's like very light, it's very soft, it just hangs down, which is nice. There are some that sometimes like get bunched up and look a complete mess, but this, I quite like it. But yeah, going back to the chest, you can see he has kind of like a rotation here, then he also has rotation at the hip. Crunch going back goes like this, crunch going forward doesn't really have that much, but you know, he's quite like a big beefy character. You wouldn't really expect him to do much crunch. We go down again, you can see kind of like nice bit of detail here onto the belt, and then this sash goes all the way down between his legs. He does have kind of like the extended shirt coming down, but it is cut, so it does get out of the way of the legs. The legs themselves, I don't know how easy it is for you to see, but it looks like they kind of can come out and off to the side. So it doesn't get that, I mean, actually looking through the camera, it looks quite impressive, especially considering this is in the way, so that's not too bad. But it does get out of the way. The legs do have a thigh swivel, which is nice. They come down to the knees. The knees, again, they don't really have, it's not like double jointed or double pinned. It has a single pin, but it comes to 90, which is good. And then we go down to his feet. There is a rotation at the knee. His foot is on kind of like a pivot that goes forward and back. Then there is a rocker, which is nice. And I like that you can see again, like the nice sculpting on the boots. And I like that his boots feel big and sturdy. So it's like very nice and quite straightforward to get him to just stand because he has like a nice flat base. Yeah, again, here it's just from the back. So you can see the cape, and then the cape comes out of the way. You can see the sculpting is still on his back. On his belt, he has some pockets, and he even has a holder here for his lightsaber, which is really cool. Then here we have kind of like this kind of skirt that comes down again that goes behind him. And in general, yeah, I think he's just a very cool figure, and I actually really like his articulation and movement. He feels big, but his articulation makes him kind of feel like you can pose him and get him in nice poses. Then, of course, we go to the lightsaber, which is, I assume, Darth Malek's lightsaber. I can't remember from the games, but I'm assuming this is what it looks like, so it's probably unique to him. There's probably not any other figures that have the same lightsaber. You can see the nice hilt there. This kind of part is reminiscent a little bit of Cal Kestis's from Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. Then we have the red blade, and again, you saw as it came out the packaging, mine is nice and straight. I believe you can always, or I hope you can unplug them, so we can put this behind his back if we want to, somehow, just like this. So it's there behind him, but you can still kind of see it poking out. I guess it's meant to go the other way actually, because if he's going to lean back, pull it out from behind, he doesn't want to hold this end. But it's nice that you can store it there if you want to have him in a more kind of, leadership kind of on the kind of, what's it called, the bridge of the ship that he's on. I feel like most of the game he just stands like this, and I like that you can put him in this pose. So yeah, nice that you can have him there too, kind of being the big bad guy, leading the bad guy armies. And yeah, let's maybe put him in this pose up on the pedestal. And here is Darth Malek spinning around on the pedestal. I almost said Thrawn then. Like, I think this pose is also very Thrawn-like, like, again, kind of demanding or commanding an army, just kind of stood at a leisurely pose, but also kind of looking very dangerous and very, bad, very evil. But yeah, like I said, this is a very cool figure. If you want to see more Gaming Greats Star Wars figures, let me know in the comments what you would like to see. Obviously, the obvious one is Bastila, because she goes so well with Darth Malek. I think we could get some nice photos of them together, and they would look good on video. Like I said, I don't really have any other Star Wars figures to pose him with, unfortunately. Like I said, I have Darth Sidious or whatever he's called somewhere. I'd have to go find him. But that might also be something interesting if you're a Star Wars fan or the Black Series fan. Go back and watch my old video. Like I said, it's from probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I think it was one of the first videos I ever made about action figures. So it might not be the best, but go back and watch it. And if you want to see like a more modern relook at Darth Sidious, I can also do something like that. That would be quite cool. So let me know if you'd like that in the comments too. And I think, like I said, let's have a look at him with his mask off, and let's see how kind of cool his face looks. And here is Malek, and like I promised, we took his mask off. It looks like he's just been hit in the mouth and is kind of a bit shocked about it. But yeah, you can see on the sculpt the kind of detail that they've put on there, the kind of blue, sort of blue energy kind of source there that he has, the scarring on his face, and even like the neck has a really nice sculpt to it. Like it just all looks really detailed and nice. On this side, I might just have to turn him. Hopefully he doesn't fall over. Oops. Yeah, you can see the scars going all the way up his face there, even onto the back of his head. He has this kind of cool mechanism. Ooh, of course he falls over. Maybe I'll just hold him. He has this kind of cool mechanism here, and you can see how the mask actually slots into his head. See if it stands. There we go. And yeah, here you can see parts of the mask, how they kind of fit into the back of his head. If I can turn it around, fits in with these 2 pegs here, goes around like this. Of course. Yeah, it kind of fits around like this. It's really hard to do with one hand. Actually, that's the wrong side. Yeah, so this is the right side of his face, this is the left side of his face, and then they clip together. And that's just another thing as well, like what really interests me, having looked at Lightning Collection for so long, is just to see what other like brands are doing, like how are they getting creative, how are they getting resourceful, because I think, you know, there would have been a solution maybe just to give you 2 heads for this character, like one head like this and one head with the mask. But for Hasbro, that's probably expensive, creating 2 different molds, 2 different sculpts, you know, getting them painted twice. So it's kind of cool to see them kind of innovate and be creative with solutions like this that kind of work in most cases. I have tried it taking on and off the mask. It can be a little bit fiddly. Like sometimes the mask doesn't want to close completely until you get it in the exact right position it needs to be. But once it's in that exact right position, it always closes. So like I say, it's nice to kind of look at these solutions, these engineering solutions that they have for these figures, and see what other brands are doing. But yeah, so guys, that's my Darth Malek Black Series review. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more Black Series figures, and also hit that like button, because the more likes we get, the more I know that people are enjoying the video and want to see more. Also give me suggestions if you want to see different types of figures. If you want to see a Darth Sidious re-review, that would be quite cool to do. It'd also be cool to have him up here with a fellow Sith Lord in Darth Malek. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for the support. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.